Since then, it's just an endless string of anime, usually little girls, sometimes tough women. Lots of critters. This really is my real voice, by the way, before anybody asks. Let's just get that out of the way. In my head, it sounds really sexy. I know that's not the truth. And no, I'm not related to Megan Mullally, who plays Karen on Will and Grace. I just throw that out there. Everybody always asks, are you related? I'm like, no. I wouldn't mind her money, though. So let's see, what are some of the new things that I've been working on so I can tell you about those? Hetalia, yes. I play Belarus. And the Flying Mint Bunny, who evidently has its own following, which I find very strange. Let's see, what else have I done? Oh, I'm on, if you guys watch the Nicktoons Dragon Ball Z Kai, I play Bulma. That was not the Bulma voice, by the way, don't get scared.
Do it.
I can't right now. I'm on cold medicine too, you guys, so yeah. Let's see, what else? Full Metal Alchemist, I was Lyra Billy Payne. Brotherhood, I went the opposite direction, and I played Mei Chang. I'm like going from low to high. And I have a panda, that's awesome. Jeez, you guys, there's so many. See, I freak out, and I start thinking of all these shows, and I'm like, I'm gonna say one, and I don't even know it. And
Black Butler.
Yeah, Black Butler. Oh, Black Butler is a good one. I played Mei Rin, the crazy lady. But anyway, okay, you guys know what I've done, right?
Yeah.
Does anybody
Yeah.
not know? Do I need to educate? No, I wasn't in Harold and Kumar. You're the first person that's ever asked me that. I've never even seen the movie. I wasn't in Sin City either. Like, that was a rumor going around for a while. I wish I could say that I was, but I wasn't. I guess I'm just gonna open it up to questions, and that's probably the easiest. You are the first one. Yes, ma'am.
Being a voice actor and a director and everything, a quick question would be, what are some of the weirdest stories or weirdest events you've ever experienced when you had to go in and do a voice?
Weird things happen in the booth a lot. You're gonna find also that I like to move around a lot and I don't really sit still well. So I'm gonna do this. Let's see. Weird experiences in the booth. As a director, and I'm not gonna name names because I can see all the camera lights. As a director, I was working on a show called Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. Thanks! I love that show. It's fun. And I don't know why they chose me to write and direct it. I'm like, dude, guys, it doesn't have any no. This is like big fighting. I'm like, yeah, you can handle it. Okay. And then I had a blast. But I had to audition all these dudes. Because, you know, I'm a girl. I know the other girls at Funimation. I don't really know all the dudes. So what happens when you come into audition is you get a side and it's paper and it has a picture. And you read over it and then you go in the booth and you read it aloud. And it's fine if you improvise and stuff, like they're not really picky about that kind of stuff. We had an older gentleman, shall we say, come in and audition, and he got the words all mixed up, but not in an improv-y kind of way, in like a really funny kind of way. And the problem is that, you know, they're in a booth, but there's a window so they can see you. And especially on auditions, like, an actor's instinct is to like do it and go, did I do a good job? So that's what this guy kept doing, but every time, like my engineer and I, like the guy that runs the rig, we had to like not laugh. That was very awkward, because we're like, yeah, that was great. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And he'd be in there like, oh, hate you so much, puke. Okay, that's great. And it wasn't that he was a bad actor, he just couldn't, like, for whatever reason, he couldn't, like, get the line right. But it was hilarious. Anyway, that was that one. And then for me, personally, in the booth, we did a show called Princess Knight.
Yeah.
That was about, yeah, I love that show. So good. But it's a show about a girls' baseball team. That makes it sound really lame. It's not just about baseball.
No, it's awesome.
But we had, like, props. Because that's one of the first things about voice acting you need to know is that, like, if you want to make a noise, like you're jumping or you're throwing, it helps to do the thing that you're doing. Otherwise, you know, if I stand here and go, I'm That doesn't sound like I'm jumping, but if I'm actually like moving my whole body, then it sounds, more organic, more real. So we had one of those squishy stress balls. That was our baseball. Now you didn't actually throw it because we didn't want it to go home, but you pretended. And then we had a whole bunch of scripts that were kind of balled up and taped together that were our bats. So I got up the bat. I was ready to go. And I swung really hard. Really ready to hit that ball. The imaginary ball. Instead, I hit the microphone.
Oh.
And everything. And so Matt Greenfield joked about having this little piece of audio at ADV for the longest time that was like, and when you're recording, you don't use cheap microphones. So all I could think of is, I'm gonna have to work for ADV for free for like 10 years to pay off this microphone. Thankfully, I didn't break it. It was good. But yeah, weird things happen in the booth. And especially as a director, you'll notice that like weird noises come from the booth. And it's like, oh, okay. Why don't you at least just like make a joke out of it? Like if you're gonna fart in the booth, like crack a joke. It's fine, everybody does it. But don't try to pretend it didn't happen, because then that just makes me want to laugh more. Like then I'm not laughing. If you go, oh, I'm sorry, that was oops, then I'll be fine. But if you like do it really loud and then pretend it didn't happen, I'm totally gonna laugh. Sorry, I am 12. It happened. Yes.
Okay, so I'm a musical theater major.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
I wanted to know, my friend Zoe actually just moved out to Texas, and she's an RTF major, and she wants to get into anime and directing and stuff, and I want to cross over to voice acting, because I used to. And I want to know, like, how would I do that? Like, how could I make the transition?
That's a good question.
Like, how did you get where you are? How did you get into voice acting?
I'm a weird example, and that's why I'm probably the worst person to answer this question, because I mean, it was a long time ago, obviously, before anime dubs were very popular. Back in the day, before some of you were born, there was this thing called a VCR tape.
I know what those are.
Right. And then back in those days, you had to choose.
Sorry.
Either dub or sub, and that's where the big debate was. Well, now, you've got DVDs, so it's not much of a problem. But back in the day, people really didn't care about that. They couldn't care less. Like, I went to several conventions where they're like, who are you? Oh. So I was like, oh, whatever, fine. I'm still here, I'm still having fun. But, so back then, it wasn't as challenging. It wasn't as, what's the word, competitive to get into. I would say that the best advice I can give anybody that wants to be a voice actor is to be an actor first, which you've got down. Definitely be an actor, because that helps. Musicality, which you've got. That also helps because there's a syncopation to those flats. Like when you watch it, like you have to kind of get the rhythm of it. It's like a, you have to watch the little flats, the pauses, how it's song. So those two things are very important. Other than that, I would say take classes, like find an agent. I would say don't, and people hate when I say this, but I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. You ready? Don't pigeonhole yourself by only concentrating on anime. If you're gonna be a voice actor because you love it, and because you're an actor, because that's what you want to do. The problem is that, especially right now, you guys heard Greg talking about, the state of the industry is not so hot. So right now, there's not a lot of work. Like even for those of us that have been doing it forever, like times is tough. So there's not as much work, so it's harder. And right now, especially because there's not as much work, they're not bringing in as many new people. Because it's like, well, if we don't have the money to, buy shows, then we certainly don't have the money to train people, which takes more time and eats up studio costs and all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm not telling anybody to give up on your dreams. Certainly not. I will tell you this: if you become a voice actor, hello. Commercial voice acting is rad. You can still be whatever you want to be, and you can make 10 times as much money. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I did an audition the other day for a commercial for playing a 5 to 7-year-old. I probably got beat out by a real 5 to 7-year-old. Such is life. But, I mean, that's the thing, is sometimes I look at things that come in through my agency and these prices that they list. Like, if you land this gig, you get this much money. And I'm like, That's more money than I make in a month of anime. Jeez. So I'm just saying, don't pigeonhole yourself. Like, try and keep an open mind. Understand that, you know, I know everybody loves anime, and that's why we're here, and I totally love it, and I certainly wouldn't talk anybody out of it. But just be aware that, like, if you want to make a living at it as a voice actor, you're going to have to kind of do a little bit of everything.
I've heard from some people, though, like, if I move to Texas, does it help?
Okay, you have to be where the work is.
Yeah.
That is one thing I will tell you. I'm not suggesting you all pick up and move to Dallas. If you do, Richardson is a lovely neighborhood. No, but you do need to live where the work is. And the work currently, they're still moving in Houston. It's moving a little slower than it used to, but it's still going. Dallas is a heavy hitter. LA, of course, and LA has all the video games, which just saying. LA, Vancouver, I don't know if anybody wants to defect. In New York, there's the place that none of you want to work, but they're still kicking. 4 kids. I know most anime fans are like, I don't want to work with 4 kids. Well, they're still kicking. But so you do kind of have to live where the work is because they're hesitant because they don't have a lot of money. They certainly can't fly people in. So you kind of have to live there. Or be a really good liar with a really fast car. Or an uncle that flies an airplane. Something like that.
Thank you.
No problem. Yes.
What's your favorite role and could you do this voice?
Favorite role? I always thought picking my favorite role is like picking your favorite movie. You know, your mom always said, I don't know how many of you have siblings, but mom always says, you're all my favorites, I love you equally. That's my cop out. I will say my favorite right now, and it's so much fun, is Mei Rin in Black Butler. Like, she is freaking rad. Because not only do I get to do an accent, but I get to do the most ridiculous voice ever.
Could you do it?
I will totally do it. This isn't going to be a Mei Rin line because I don't know. Let's see. Let me make sure I can do it. What am I going to say?
I like pie.
Oh, no, I'm not going to say that. Let's see. Okay, you ready? It might hurt. Me. All right, here we go. Oh, it's so good to see all of you today in Ohayocon. How are you doing? Have you seen my master Sebastian? He's the hottest thing ever.
Woo!
I get on there. That one's fun just because it's so ridiculous. And when I heard the Japanese, because I saw the character, I was like, oh, that character's cool, I like her. And then when I heard the Japanese girl, I was like, yes. I can do that. I will do that. And she's been a lot of fun. There's so many greats. Like, I really have been lucky. Like, I get the cool chicks. You know, like, if there's a show and there's a cool chick in it, I'm usually lucky enough. I guess it depends on what your idea of cool is. I play a lot of psychos. I love the psychos. I love being able to go from happy to like, I'm gonna kill you in 5 seconds. Like, that's my favorite. So like Momoka and Sergeant Frog, awesome. Has anybody seen My Bride is a Mermaid? Awesome. I played Wacky the Conch. Yeah, she's awesome. Not only is she like high pitched and sweet one moment, but she's like a yakuza the next moment. Ah! Isn't she though? She's that passive aggressive. Have you guys seen Sekiro? You had to, because it's sold out. Yeah. Like they had to press it again. It's a great show. It's about, I won't tell you what it's about. Go look it up. It's a really good show, but I play the adult. Sometimes I do play an adult. And she's very, very sweet to the point of being evil. Like she's that passive aggressive lady that'll look at you and go, if you really want to do that, you can, but you're going to pay for it. With your back. Yeah. Exactly. She has like a demon that's always over her shoulder. She's pretty awesome. That's a fun show, and it's got lots of boobs. Girls, it's got lots of boobs. We're like, no. Yes. She's very quiet.
How did you like working with her?
Oh, that's a great question. She's asking know. Are we simply